Hey guys, Richard Simpson here. Thanks for clicking on the video. This one I'm drawing my own Spider-Sona. I saw these things going on Instagram and stuff. People that have watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse have been drawing their own versions of themselves as Spider-Man, which is pretty cool. If you haven't seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I highly recommend it. It's awesome. The animation style is insane. I brought my kid to see it, and he loved it too. His new favorite Spider-Man is Miles Morales now. As you can see here, I'm messing with a half face mask with the beard showing. But I thought it didn't look enough like Spider-Man. My favorite Spider-Man is the Scarlet Spider, so I went with the sleeveless hoodie, but mine's torn off a bit. I thought about going with like being completely sleeveless with hairy arms and stuff, because I'm a big hairy guy, but I scratched that later on, which you'll see. But this was a lot of fun to do, to think if I was Spider-Man, how would I want the costume to look, different ways I'd do it. A lot of people do ones where they change the power set and everything too. I'm not sure about that, except my Spider-Sona, I guess it would be, he's just a little bulkier, so he wouldn't be as quick, which is fine, you know, a little more hand-to-hand brawling and not as much slipping and spinning and flipping and all that bullshit. But definitely really fun to draw. I like coming up with characters, so making my own Spider-Man was a fun treat. And right now I'm doing the line work. As you can see, I'm doing the tore sleeves. I did the backwards hat. Basically, I'm just refining my sketch lines. I'm doing the wrist things. It's like extra web cartridges or something. Kind of like the Scarlet Spider version. And if my voice sounds weird, I got a cold. It's negative 5 degrees out right now, which kind of sucks. Spring can come any day now. I'm from upstate New York, by the way, so if anyone is from around that area that's watching, you know what I'm talking about. So, guys, let me know, have you seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? I'd like to know what you thought about the movie in the comments. Also, what would you like me to draw on this channel? Is there, like, a certain tutorial you'd like to see, or certain characters you'd like me to draw? Leave those in the comments, because I got plans on doing tutorials and stuff. I just gotta know what you guys want to see, you know what I mean? Just put your suggestions in the comments, and we'll see what happens, you know. I want to be able to make this channel more of a community. We're all working together. Feel free to leave some links in the comments to your social medias, if you have art pages and stuff like that, Instagrams. I'd love to see your guys' art. Link that stuff in the comments, guys. I'd love to see your work, and let me know what you thought of the Spider-Man movie. I really liked it. My son really liked it, but, you know, he's 5, so he's probably not the most reliable movie critic. Right now, I'm working on his pants. He's just wearing some generic sweatpants, because I figured if I made the costume, it probably wouldn't be that intricate and amazing. So it was, you know, sleeveless hoodie, sweatpants, and a morph suit. I don't know. Now I'm gonna move on to do the flat colors. I had to pick my favorite colors, which are green and black. The Spidey symbol, there is one on his chest underneath the hoodie, which you can't see right now, but I'm gonna do another sketch so you can. But yeah, my favorite color is green, so I had to. I love this color. So I'm just going to be blocking in the flats right now. And after I do this one, I do another pose with him without the hoodie, so you can see what his costume really looks like. As you can see, I changed the color of the background. I want to darken it up a bit, just so when I did these lighter colors, like the really light gray for the eyes and the spider and on his hat, it didn't get lost in the background or hard to see, to make sure I didn't have it colored in all the way. And it makes, when you do a darker background or a more neutral background, it helps when to figure out if your colors are too dark or too light also, because when you're working on a white background everything looks darker, but when you work on a really dark background everything looks that much lighter. So when you do like a neutral gray like this, it kind of, evens it out a bit. Right now I'm just messing with some design elements to try and break up the green on his arms and stuff a little bit, so he's not just a big guy in a green suit. Yeah, he's wearing the hoodie, but he might not wear it all the time. Believe it or not, we do have summers here, so it does get hot. So maybe, he doesn't always have to wear a sleeveless hoodie. So we want the costume to be just broke up a little bit. So I'm messing around to see how I would do that. Let me know what you guys think about these design choices, and then what you would have done differently in the comments. At this point, I was thinking, you know what he's missing? He's missing a little bit of webbing. What's Spider-Man without some webbing on his costume? So right now I'm messing around to see where I want to add some webbing to break it up even more. Now I'm starting working on just a standard straightforward pose of him without the hoodie, so you can see what the rest of his costume looks like. It's not the most dynamic pose, and he's not the most physically fit Spider-Man, but this is just to show you what his costume looks like in the Spider-Man emblem on it. The spider emblem, I kind of took inspiration from Venom in the symbiote suit from the comics, where the spider takes up most of the front and back of the costume. This spider would wrap around to the back also. Um, Let me know what you think, guys. Right here I noticed that I made his head a little small, so I made it a little bigger. And then now I'm going in and widening the neck a bit, just because I thought the small head looked a little silly. Here you can see I struggle a bit with his hand and this forearm here. Um, Hands are hard as it is, you know, and this is kind of a weird angle to have it at. So it takes me a few tries to get the fingers and the forearm where I want it. And let me know if you guys have issues with drawing hands and stuff. I can work on a little tutorial video probably if you'd like to see any of my shortcuts that I use drawing hands. You know, anything you guys think would help out, let me know. And I'll see if I can make a tutorial about it, or possibly leave some links in the comments where you might be able to get help from somewhere else. Alright, now I'm starting the colors on this pose here. These are just the flats again. Now you'll be able to see what he looks like, his suit without the hoodie on, and where I think it works pretty well with the way I broke it up with the dark gray webbing areas and the white areas of the spider. Let me know what you guys think, and if you would have done anything differently. Love to hear the feedback. The coloring on this piece is just going to be another one with anime style type cell shading, just to keep it simple, which means there's not going to be any real blurring effects or anything like that. If you guys would like to see a video about a more in-depth style of coloring that I do and have done on other pieces, let me know, and I could possibly do a video or just a speed paint or something like that, where you can see my process of how I go about coloring in different ways. I could do a straight up video on coloring if you'd like. I'm not the best colorist in the world, and I'm not going to say I'm, you know, the best artist or even that really great. But I feel, you know, I know a few things, and if I can help other artists out, why not do it? So, like I've said a bunch in this video, if there's anything you guys need help with, or think I might have a few tips and tricks to share for you, you know, let me know what you are struggling with, and I can see what I can do. As you can see right now, I'm just adding some basic shadows and stuff. I don't know why I say all the time. Maybe in post I'll add a counter so you guys can so I can see how many that I've done in this video. There we go again. I am not used to recording my voice. If any of you guys have channels or anything like that, let me know how you've overcome it or improved on your voice recordings, because I feel like I'm not doing that great. When I'm doing the shading on this, I'm thinking of the forms in 3 dimensions. Like on the bicep where it curves around at the bottom, so there'd be more shadow at the bottom because the light source is coming from like the top left of the page or something like that. You always have to think of everything in 3 dimensions. You can't, if you just shaded it flat, it would look horrible. It wouldn't look right. So that's another tip right there. Just think of everything in 3 dimensions. Even if when you're doing your construction lines, if you have to make a 3-dimensional grid, it helps, you know, especially when you're first learning and stuff. I could do another video sometime if you guys like on the 3 dimensions of the figure, drawing it in their basic shapes like cylinders and spheres and cubes and all that stuff. Now moving on to do the shading and stuff on the other figure. Again, following the forms, the lights coming, think, from like above him to the front, off to the left a little bit. So you'll see what I mean when I'm talking about going around the forms, like I mentioned earlier. Now I'm just adding another layer of shading on top of this one to darken it up in the spots, to give, in certain spots, just to give it a little more depth. Parts that would be a little further from the light, or to give it a little more of a three-dimensional look. Now I'm starting the highlights. I did an add glow layer, made it a color layer, and lowered the opacity a bit. I'm using this yellowish orange color to represent like sunlight, to warm it up the picture a bit. And a little later I can go in and soften it up so it'll look like the sun's glowing on him, like shining on him. That's the plan anyway. I'm not quite sure how I feel about how it turned out. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. Here I'm messing around with adding a little bit of bounce light with just a hint of a blue color, just to add a little contrast. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but let me know what you guys think. I probably could have edited these little bits out here. It's just trying to render the blur that I tried to do on the highlight layers. So it just freezes for a second here because my laptop's a piece of garbage. But you know what? It does what it needs to do, and that's what's important. Alright, and it's pretty much finished. This is my Spider-Sona, Spider Rich. Let me know what you guys think. If you like the video, hit the like button. Please subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you get notified every time I make a new video. Can't wait to see your guys' comments. Please share. Love you guys. See you in the next video.